Good morning, everybody. What I want to talk about today is the importance of starting before you're ready. So, this is probably a topic you've heard about a little bit or a lot on the internet, depending on what digital rabbit hole you find yourself going down. But that's something I come across a lot with articles and videos is why you should start before you're ready. I think often it's included in one of the habits that get you ahead of 99% of people, which is something I see a lot of. Anyway, let's get to the point. So I know this is a complex topic and everything is nuanced, and when it comes to these pieces of advice and YouTube titles and headlines and subject lines, the point is to be certain in your opinion and to have the courage of your conviction when you're giving somebody advice, because nobody likes someone who's wishy-washy about their opinions or who is uncertain or who doesn't really take a stance on a particular subject or philosophy or way of life. So, but the thing is, all of these issues and all of these pieces of advice that people give you have nuance to them. But with this particular piece of advice, I would say I generally agree with that you should start before you're ready. Now, let me explain that. Let me explain that a little bit. So, when you find yourself in a situation in which an opportunity has presented itself, and it could be a possible lucrative opportunity for you in your career, in a relationship, and just life in general, you may come to the conclusion that you are not exactly suited to embark on this particular path or this particular career or to grab hold of this particular opportunity because you don't possess the skill set, you don't yet have the mindset or the particular mindset that you think you need in order to tackle this, what would you call it, to tackle this endeavor. You don't think you're up to the challenge, essentially, is what the case is. Now, I think oftentimes in situations like this, I think you should just jump on it. You should jump into the deep end and teach yourself to learn to swim in the moment. I think that's good advice a lot of the times. Now, are there occasions when this is not good advice? I think so, yeah. It depends on the situation. It depends on the type of person you are. It depends on what's going on in your life. Like, for example, if a family member or a loved one has just died a couple days prior, maybe you're not ready to take that promotion, which is going to require a lot of mental energy. Maybe you are. Maybe you're the kind of person who is, but generally speaking, I think for a lot of people that probably wouldn't be a good idea, I'm assuming. Who knows? Some people might disagree, but I think generally you should probably give yourself a little bit of time to get your shit together. You know, there are occasions where an opportunity presents itself and you literally are not suited or do not possess the skill set for that particular opportunity. And there are occasions where you would be wasting your time as well as the person giving you the opportunity's time if you took it and pretended that you knew what you were doing. However, there are occasions where you may not possess the exact skill set, but that is a field or a career or a skill set that you're passionate about, even though you're not great at it yet. But I think there are many occasions in which you should jump on the opportunity, even if you don't possess all the skill sets, and teach yourself these skill sets as you go. Use this as an opportunity to learn. And if you fail, okay, you failed, big deal. But as long as you try, and as long as you're basically transparent, I know that sounds a little bit contradictory because it's like, if you hop on an opportunity you're not ready for, was there a lack of transparency in that particular arrangement between you and this other person who offered it to you? Maybe. But to give you an example, so myself personally, I was recently given the opportunity to join a writers community for screenwriters. And I believe the majority of these people in this particular group, this community, are professional writers. These people have, these people have the skill set to write on a professional level. And I don't know, I'm not 100%, excuse me, I can't even talk. Forgive me. I'm not 100% sure that I'm quite there yet. There's still a lot of things I need to learn. I think I'm pretty good, but I don't think I'm great yet. I'm going to achieve excellence in this. But at the same time, you got to be realistic. I am not on their level yet. And that requires practice. They've put in a lot more years than me. They've written a lot more scripts than I have. They understand story in a way that I have yet to gain an understanding of story structure and whatnot. But I'm learning and I'll get there. But the point is that I wasn't ready to join this community. I have a lot of other shit on my plate. I'm pursuing copywriting, digital marketing, taking courses, working a 9-to-5 job, working on my screenwriting portfolio. Me and my writing partner are working on scripts, giving each other feedback. I have a lot of shit on my plate, and it's almost too much to deal with at times, but you got to deal with it. That's the bottom line, especially if you're a man. Sometimes you just got to soldier through that shit. I know that's an unpopular opinion to some people, or that they would consider that bad advice, but sometimes as a man, you got to just soldier through shit. So anyway, the point is, I wasn't ready to take this opportunity, but I took it anyway because I felt in this particular situation it was important to jump into the deep end and just start swimming and see what happens. And ultimately, so far, it's been paying off. I got to get in contact with one of the writers later today about a script that was sent to me that they wrote that I read, and to give them feedback on it. And here's the thing, I'm not as qualified as they are to give feedback, but I said, hey, if you got any scripts to read, I would love to read them. And, I'm still learning and this and that, but I'd love to read it and, let you know what I think. And so that, just giving them feedback on the script would reveal essentially that what my skill set is, in the sense of how well does this young man understand story structure? Like, how good of a writer is he? Is he able to read scripts outside of the genre that he normally navigates and give good feedback and have an understanding of it? So, I wasn't ready for that, but I took the opportunity anyway, and I think ultimately it was for the best. There was a lot of things in my life that I did that I wasn't ready for, that I didn't feel ready for. I felt I needed more preparation. I needed more time to think about it. I needed to develop the right mindset. But the problem is that'll just keep you in limbo for the rest of your life. Now, there is nuance to this. Like I said, you also can't be stupid and take an opportunity that you possess absolutely no skill set for. And if you're not an absolutely remarkable individual who has a photographic memory and it can absorb information at lightning speed, like Good Will Hunting or Elon Musk, then there's certain things you just shouldn't jump on if you're really not ready for it. And you got to be transparent, but just be smart about it. Like, I know a lot of people say use common sense. I know common sense isn't always that common. I've failed to use common sense at times too, so I can't get on anyone about that. But use common sense to the best of your ability. There's some things you just shouldn't jump on because you're literally not qualified, and you would be doing people a disservice if you did take the opportunity. So analyze the situation to the best of your ability and try to determine whether this would be a net positive in your life and the lives of others, or if it would be a net negative. If you taking this opportunity and failing at it would sabotage a company or somebody's profession or your reputation, then maybe you shouldn't do it. But if it's something you feel like maybe the skill level required for you to achieve this is just a little bit above your head, maybe like 2, 3, 4 notches above your skill set, but you feel like if you really hammered down and you focused on this, that you could teach yourself this skill set and you could accomplish this goal, that is when you should hop on it, even though you're technically not ready. So you gotta apply common sense to these things. I think when people say start before you're ready, that's what they're talking about. Start on a project that you're not quite suited for yet, and teach yourself as you're doing it. Learn as you build. Some things you can only learn in the deep end of the pool. Some things you can only learn as you're building. I think that's the whole theme of that piece of advice that people give when you start before you're ready, is that's it right there. Some things you only learn as you create or build. Like the last script I was working on, that was above my skill set. It was a 1 hour serialized TV drama, a pilot for a TV drama based on the true story of a crime family in Northeast LA. I've never written a true story before. And this was out of my comfort zone as far as that goes. And the next script is also out of my comfort zone. Each script that I write is going to be a little bit outside my comfort zone from now on. Probably generally within the same genre of crime drama, family drama, coming of age drama, essentially. But the next one is like dark comedy, political satire, which is something I've never written before. And, you know, we'll see if I'm up for the challenge. I think there's a lot I need to learn as I write this project, but it's technically something I'm not ready for because I don't have experience in it. But the only way to get experience and to become a better writer is to take on these sorts of challenges. So I think that's a fairly decent framework for starting before you're ready. Embark on the projects and goals that require you to level up your skill set like 2, 3, 4, 5 notches, whatever the fuck that means. I think you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think generally speaking, that's good advice. Again, determine whether it's more of a net positive, net negative, whether there's a realistic chance that you could learn the skills required to accomplish this goal, or if you took it, you would be completely wasting someone's time or your own precious time. So I think that's a pretty good determining factor on when you should start before you're ready. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's something that had been on my mind, and I wanted to think about how you could apply that and the nuances behind that piece of advice, how you could apply it to your own life. I'll give you another quick example before I go. I wasn't ready to start this YouTube channel. I felt that I needed to get smarter. I felt that I needed to become more articulate. I felt that I needed to become better spoken. I felt that, once I get a little bit smarter, then I'll start doing YouTube videos. Then I'll start talking on camera. Once I become better suited, essentially. But I was like, you know what, man? Fuck that. The only way to learn is by starting. And I know I'll probably look back on these early videos later in my career as a content creator and cringe at how much I ramble, or how unstructured and incoherent some of my rants can be, or some of the things I'm talking about just doesn't make sense. I noticed in a couple of my YouTube videos in the past that I had probably repeated myself like 4 or 5 times in one video. I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that would annoy some people. I'm sure it would. I don't know if that helps hammer down the point, and maybe that's something you should do to a certain extent, because I've heard conflicting advice on that. But ultimately, I was like, I'm just going to start before I'm ready, because the only way you learn is on the job sometimes. You know, I wonder, there's a cop sitting behind me. I want to ask him, like, I wonder if that's why they have 18 months at the police academy, because they're like, the only way you're essentially going to learn how to police and do police work is on the job. You know, because like the academy can only teach you so much. Like I was in film school. Film school can only teach you so much before you actually have to start making films and writing scripts and putting yourself out there and learning on the job. That's where you learn. Like Martin Scorsese learned filmmaking by making films. I'm sure in film school, you know, all the film theory and studying films and story structure and all that jazz. But a lot of it is learning on the job. It's a combination of studying and preparation and executing. Like what Luke Belmar talks about, plan, execute, iterate. That's a very good, solid framework. I think that's a very good, solid framework. Learn, embark, and then, you know, so, oh shit, they're gonna pull someone over. Man, I feel bad for the cops right now, man, because they're very, obviously they're going through a lot, you know, and, you know, in LA right now, there's not a whole lot of police officers joining the academy, and a lot of officers are retiring and whatnot, and they're going through a lot, man. The LAPD, the sheriff's department, my heart goes out to them because they're going through a lot of shit right now. I feel for those fools, man. That sucks. That was kind of random for this video, I know, but I just saw him and it made me think about that. Anyway, long story short, I wasn't ready to start this YouTube channel, but I was like, I'm gonna learn just by starting. I'm not comfortable talking on camera yet, but I'm gonna get comfortable talking on camera by talking on camera, by speaking to you guys, by speaking to the 4 subscribers I have right now. So yeah, man, I think, like I said, there's a lot of occasions where starting before you're ready is a very good thing. It's a very good thing, man. So if that's something that concerns you, if that's something that you are conflicted about, if that's something that, you know, you're debating on whether you should do or not with a particular situation in your life, I think most of you are smart enough to analyze whether or not it applies to your current situation or whatever journey or goal or educational endeavor you want to embark on. So yeah, that's all I want to say about that. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm going to try and do these YouTube videos every single Sunday. I want to build consistency and discipline. I need to learn how to speak and form coherent thoughts and articulate them and be able to converse with people. So this is a way I'm going to practice doing that. You know, I'm going to be disciplined about it, and I'm not going to let myself down. I'm not going to let my 4 subscribers down. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I don't even know who my subscribers are exactly, because I don't know if I'm just technologically illiterate and I don't know how to see, but I don't know. Is there a way you can check Jesus, I can't even talk. Is there a way you can check who your subscribers are on YouTube? I'm not 100% sure, but whoever you guys are, thanks for subscribing, man. Anyway, so I'm going to get back to it, but I hope you learned a little bit something from that. And I hope it's something you can apply to your life, to your situation. I hope it's something that gives you value, because I realize that, you know, as a content creator, you can't just talk about me all the time and my shit and my bullshit. You know, you got to give people value. You got to provide value to people. That's how your channel grows. That's how you become a successful person in society, is by providing value to others. And I think that's a wonderful trade-off, and that's something that I want. You know, I want to gain success by providing value to others in the form of storytelling, in the form of pieces of advice, in the form of life lessons you can learn from my mistakes, because, and we'll get into that as the channel progresses, because I made a lot of huge errors in my life. Let's say I've missed the mark more than once. I've made some dreadful mistakes, and I'm going to air them all out. I'm going to talk about them. I'm not ashamed of them anymore. They are what they are. It is what it is. You know, I was a troubled young man as a teenager. I've done a lot of stupid shit. You know, and I want people to learn from that. I'm just going to be honest about my flaws. I'm going to talk about them openly. I'm not going to air out all my bullshit, you know, all the drama in my personal life, which there isn't a whole lot, but some things you don't need to know about. Some things I like to keep private, but all the mistakes that I've learned from and have solidified themselves in the foundation of my life, mistakes I've made that have altered my life in some fashion, I want you to learn from them. So I'll talk about them in the future. So anyway, you know, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you have a blessed day. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful Sunday. All right. Peace.